to. Alexis, can you see the PowerPoint up on the screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Perfect. And you can just start the show when you're ready. Okay. All right. So good morning, everybody. We have Alexis here from the library who's going to go through some of the new library resources that we have. It might be a good idea to take some notes. And then also remember, I was telling you about that new page she has for the different award winners. And you guys have that Newberry compare contrast coming up a week from today. So she'll tell you a little bit about that new site as well. And I think it's going to be really nice to do a little bit of research on that before we're writing those papers.
Yes. So hello, guys. So a little bit of today's agenda. So I will introduce myself, and then I will do a little bit of an introduction of the library. So the website, some of the resources. Then we will look at resources specifically geared towards you guys with children's literature. So this month is National Picture Book Month, so I will go into that a little bit more. We do have an award-winning books guide that I have created for you guys, and then the database that you guys have already used a little bit. And then if we have time, we will do a little bit of an activity with that database just to make sure that you guys kind of are really comfortable with it and don't have any other questions on that. So a little bit about who I am. That is what I look like without a mask. So my name is Alexis Becker. I am the public services librarian. So that means I kind of interact with all of you and the library. I'm kind of the bridge between academics and the library. I come out, I do teaching instruction. I am also available for reference. So if you guys are stuck with research, can't find materials, please come in and talk with me. My office is McGovern 113, so kind of on the one wall. I'm really bad at my directions, so when you come in, I'm about 2 doors down. And then my email, so you guys can email me at any time. I am pretty good at responding, so if you have emergencies, you can always feel free to contact me that way. So first, we will see if I can jump over to the library's website. Quick, and this is me also seeing how well I am with probably Google Chrome.
Yep.
Perfect.
And then we'll share a different screen
okay.
For the peeps at home. Yeah. Let's go. Stop share.
Technology, sometimes my forte, most of the time not.
So. Well, I threw in Zoom meeting without letting her know, so now we're doing this today too. There you go.
Alrighty.
Should be good to go.
Perfect. So, do you guys know how to access the library's website or get to it? Sort of. I will show you one thing that we added recently, and I was very excited about it. So from the library's homepage, or the university's homepage, if you go to the menu, all the way down, we do have a link to McGovern Library. So it is still a 2-click process, and then you click visit the library's website and view resources. You can also get to it through TigerNet, and it should be coming onto Tiger One soon. I am updating the library's website, so starting next semester, this will look much different and be a little bit more user-friendly. So that will be on as well. So the library's website, if you ever want to search for books, you just click into this box right here, and that is just your basic search. The advanced search you can always click, and it does open up a nice new tab so you can search our library's catalog. You've probably gone through this one before. Let's see, back to the home resources. We do have subject guides, and I am redoing these. So the education guide, I've updated a little bit on this. So these will have nice resources for everyone kind of available here. It will also walk you through some of our resources. Again, I'm updating this one, so by next semester, it should be a lot better. But we do have our book guide, which I will get to in a little bit. Let's see. we also have back on our homepage our A through Z database list. So here is probably where you guys go to a lot. I do have a new feature where you can limit by subject. So if we come down here to education, this lists all of the databases that are really geared towards you guys and useful for you. So the kind of best choices here on the top. So I do have the children's literature database available, ERIC, which is a really good kind of academic-y side for all of those research papers. And then other databases that you guys can search. So it's really easy now just to limit by your subject area and get in there right away. So I guess questions about the databases, the library's website, that information. Okay, perfect. I will go back to our PowerPoint. Okay, so back here. So some of the resources that the library has for the children's literature. First, you guys should also know this, the Margaret Tufel Children's Collection. So in here, we do have obviously the children's books, but we also have the young adult books. So if you are wanting just a fun read or trying to find materials for the middle and high school grades, we do have resources here. Let's see, what else in there? We also have the curriculum materials and books, so you guys can check those out as well. And with this, it is, normally we are pulling for the children's books, award-winning books. Those are the ones we tend to purchase first. And then for the young adult, we actually have a subscription. So a group kind of selects our books and sends it to us. So right now we are getting a lot of graphic novels. So that's kind of fun to know that they change around, so you can get a lot of different books. Let's see, National Picture Book Month. So November is National Picture Book Month. In the library, we do have a display up there right by the stairs. Along with that display, we actually have teaching guides and resources for you guys to come in, grab them, check them out. Feel free to check out books this week and next week. When you are at home, you can always renew them. So you get a book for 6 weeks, so that's really nice. So if there's any materials that you want to use for the rest of the semester, very much please come in, check them out. We can always renew them before you come back in January. Let's see, what else do we have? On that display. Yep.
Just a real quick note, with you guys leaving campus in a week or two, you might want to look at your journals, your OneNote notebooks, and figure out what genres you need, and then check out some books that people will read, so you can finish those up before that deadline.
Yes, perfect. And then for National Picture Book Month, you can always go to picturebookmonth.com is the website that we got most of our resources off of, so that is a really great resource to have. Let's see, so next is we do have an award-winning books guide that I created for you guys. I will go to it in a second, but the awards that are highlighted are the Caldecott Newberry, Geisel, Sparta Scott King, the Schneider Family Awards, and then the Prairie Bud, Prairie Bloom, and Prairie Pass, which are the South Dakota Book Awards for children. So all of those are available. And let me see if I can get back over. So back onto the website, we're going to go back to the homepage. Underneath the education, right here is the award-winning books guide. So the friendly URL is just book awards. So this guide, really kind of nice and easy to use. So you guys are working on the Newberry next, so I can click right here and it will jump me down to our Newberry Award. So I have for these all of our award-winning books and then the honor books as well. For the winners books, I've gone back to like the 70s to the 60s and 70s of books I have listed. So really easy for you guys to click through. The honor books, only go back to kind of the mid 2000s just because there are so many books. I got tired adding all of these in. So the nice thing with these is if the library has the book, you can click on the title and it redirects you to our library catalog entries. So this will tell you if it is available or not. It says it's available, so you can go and grab it from the library. So this is kind of a nice little guide. It again shows all of the different awards. You can click through. The nice thing here is you can also scroll through and see all of the different book titles. So the winners, the honors books, kind of just created a nice, easy one-stop shop for you guys. I also do have it linked to the American Library Association's pages for the guide or for the winners kind of book list. It's not the most friendly, so I very strongly recommend just going to Wikipedia and typing in the book award name, and it will give you the full list of winners in a nice little table. So questions about this guide or how to get to it?
So do you guys remember when we visited the children's library section earlier, how, you know, working through that database and everything, how that was kind of a little bit challenging to find the books we wanted? This will be a really sweet resource to find those Newberries. Could you maybe, can they reserve them like from their computers?
So we can't put holds and reserves on. That's not one of our functions, unfortunately. But if you need a book and it is checked out, you can just email the library. We will put a note into it, and when it's checked back in, we will then email you and say, hey, it's back in, it's behind the desk for you to pick up. So you can still reserve a book if it is checked out. It's just a little bit more convoluted, just of how our system works on the background. Alrighty, so now we are going to talk about the database. So we'll see how many. Alrighty, so when you guys have been using this before, I guess what issues are you running into, if any? Challenges? Or are you guys like total?
Kind of like, so when we go through this whole, put in all of our different things, and then when we're looking at different books, I think it would be kind of nice to have like a side deal where you can change you don't have to go back all the way back to this screen.
Back to this, and I can show you how to do that. Yes, so you can actually edit your search results while you are in a search. So also when you're searching, are you guys searching for specific titles, or are you doing kind of just a generalized topic, I guess? Generalized topic. Okay, perfect, because this is a great resource to find the new books, the ones that you didn't know about. So I will just search Iceland. So starting out, if I didn't put anything in, I can always come over here and edit. So let's say that I want to have professional reviews, which I strongly recommend. So this will give you professional reviews. What did it say? From 42 different sources. So the big ones are usually like the Kirkus, Library Journal. Those are great resources to see what others in the field are saying about that book. So we can also do reader and genre. So let's say I want to do only to age 8. And I want my category to be a fiction book. I don't want nonfiction for my storybook that I want to read to the students. And let me see. You can do genre if you want to really focus it in. So if you wanted to do a folklore for a specific region or group, you can do that as well. And so I will search also if you want to do, so the author and publisher, if you know a book that you're going like, I can't quite remember what that book title was, but I know either the author or I want authors like this, you can do it here. We can also do the reading metrics. So if you needed scholastic reading levels, AR points, things like that, you can limit as well when you're in the search. Then you just click search. So this dropped me down to 66 books. I guess I didn't see how many it was before. I think it was a couple hundred. So it does limit, you can limit that way. When you click into a title, some of these titles, I was playing around with some different searches and I went, how in the world did it pull up this title? So you can always just do the Control F and just search whatever search term you did and it will pull up where it came in this record. So it is kind of interesting to see, why is this about Iceland? And I see, okay, it's an Icelandic village with some talking chickens. Down here, just kind of walking through, you guys probably know this. So the subject areas, again, if you want to look into more books about Icelandic juvenile fiction, you can click here. Best books is the awards that it has won. So this does kind of switch over to more the state and local awards, less so, and also the national awards, but it does add in those state awards. Again, the awards and prizes. And then here we have our reviews. So this is really great to see where it's coming from. So children's literature, we have Booklist, Kirkus, great places to kind of review what others are saying about it and if it's a good book or not. It's also a great way to read the book without reading the book is the easiest way. We also have then books like this. So again, once you kind of go into the rabbit hole, you can really explore as you go through. So does that kind of help a little bit with that?
I must have just been like blind though. Maybe I just didn't realize that it was on the side there.
Yeah, and if you don't know it's there, you aren't looking for it. So great question.
Is it different on an iPad?
I thought maybe it was. I couldn't remember.
I'm curious. Let me look this up really quick.
Was it there?
Is it on the
Is it
iPad?
on the side?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. And sometimes with iPads, you do have to then reorient them because of how web pages are designed. It puts it in really weird places, like it'll be all the way at the bottom of a page when on a web page, it will be on the side. So yeah, other questions about this database? Issues you ran into? No, alrighty then. So then if you guys don't have questions, we're gonna do a little bit of activity with this. So I will pop back over to my PowerPoint. It's very slow today. Okay. So with our activity, so we are gonna all get onto this database. We are going to search and locate a book to share with the class. And I want you guys to find like the most outrageous book you can possibly think of. We'll get 5 minutes, so a little bit more in-depth instructions. So go to the database. We're going to search either a topic, an area, or a subject. So kind of like you guys have been searching before. And really think outside of your comfort box. So don't go to this one that you always search. So if you're always searching, you know, I always tend to search weird things like Iceland. So I would have to think a little bit more outside of the box, maybe a sports game, team, something like that. Use the limiters at the top. So make sure you do have professional reviews checked. That will get more of those have been read by others books and less of the very much independent and very older books tend to not have the professional reviews as well. Also then once you are searching, play around with those limits within the search so you kind of get a little bit more familiar with that. And then we will select a book to share. And if you can find a book that you haven't heard of before, that is even better. So questions about the instructions? Good. Alrighty, I'll give you about 5 minutes or so to dig around and play around with this.
Alexis, is there a way you could find horror books? I'm struggling to find that genre. The genre's there, but
The genre is
nothing's
there.
coming up.
Are you?
Probably great.
And then you
I know it's not. Do you know of a title the top of your head? Because sometimes you can kind of do a workaround. If you know a title and then you go into the subjects.
Or even like type
So
in,
here,
like
like,
Stephen King.
Yes, it's called. Actually, I think like
Okay.
Sometimes I wonder if there's too many people on it at the moment and it goes like, oh no, I don't want to work. But normally, yeah, if you type in just a title, it should come and then under the subject, it has something like a juvenile horror or suspense or something like that. And you click on that and then it will pull the full list.
Maybe try to reset and then
Yeah.
Excel and then come back in.
Okay, yeah, so. The subject. So
forestry. So yeah, I click on that. I know that should be a problem with that subject.
Yeah, and then if you would look at Wesleyan, then that would. No, quite
Alrighty, so do you guys have some titles that you guys found? Would anyone like just to share out loud with the class what you guys searched and what you found? Anyone? I will start.
I decided to search food because that's the first thing that popped up in my head. And then I did ages like I guess I did by grade levels. I did second through fifth. And then I put the professional reviews and I found the book How Do Dinosaurs Eat Their Food.
Nice. I like the weird books about dinosaurs. They're everywhere.
out there.
Who else? Yeah. Anyone else want to share?
So I also searched food.
Mhm.
That was also the first thing that came to my mind. And I found this book. It's called It's Disgusting and We Ate It. And then it says true food facts from around the world and throughout history.
Did you limit any like grade levels or anything like that?
Nope.
No.
It says 8
8 through 12. Okay. We'll do 2 more.
I'm actually kind of confused how I got to this book because I searched, okay, I said future technology, and then I kind of narrowed down like, okay, so I did future technology, but I did science fiction as one of my fields, and then it was 5 through 10 was my age, and then somehow I found this one. It's called Coolies, and it's about it's a young boy hears the story of his great-great-grandfather and his brothers who came to the United States to make better life for themselves, helping to build the Transcontinental Railroad. And so I feel like maybe that's some type of technology, maybe. But
Yeah,
I
yes.
was confused how I got to this, to be honest.
It's an interesting one of how you got to it. I can see from like the library side of it of going, you know, railroads, that's a future technology. If you are looking back in the mid 1800s, it's also things of like pencils. Pencils it's a technology, it's a piece of technology, but we normally think of the computers and artificial intelligence, things like that. So yeah, some of these are strange how you get to them. One more?
I just searched like lightning,
Mhm.
and I got like 112 results or something. And then I did second, third, and fourth grade and fantasy. And then I found this book called Down the Mystery River, and it's about like a Boy Scout who doesn't remember how he got into this forest, but then he meets 3 talking animals, and they're on the run from hunters who are trying to kill them. But I did like the Command F thing to see why I related to lightning, and I think the only thing is because that's like the name of the publisher. So
Yes, so when you do kind of limiters and searches, you get very strange results sometimes. If you put in too many limiters at the very beginning, sometimes you get nothing. So sometimes it is better to start out very, very broad, even if you know you want to go narrower, and just kind of slowly work adding one limiter in at a time. That way you don't go from like 500 results to 0 in one fatal swoop. So good job, yeah, guys, that was really good. I don't know how to share the screen. I somehow lost Zoom. Like oh, there it is. I found it again. Perfect, okay. Alrighty, I wanted to show you guys some resources on, maybe, now we aren't sharing over there. I don't know what's happening.
Go to the top of the screen. We should be able to just minimize that. There you go. Oh, just kidding.
Go back over to PowerPoint.
Let's turn my Probably just couldn't keep up with you this morning. Must be it. What is going on?
Oh, I wonder if I'm still in the PowerPoint. That's probably what I am. Here, let me try that. Ah, found it. Okay. It's the easy fixes sometimes. Perfect. Alrighty, so how many of you guys have a library card somewhere in the state of South Dakota? Okay, if you don't, you can always go over to the Mitchell Public Library. Since you are a student here at Dakota Wesleyan, you should be able to get a library card. So the one downside with our library is we don't have a lot of ebooks and audiobooks, but the public library will have lots of those. So if you are here on the Mitchell Public Library website, the nice thing about South Dakota is it does tend to
Make sure it's shared with the Zoom
Oh, am I
people.
sharing?
Sure.
Mhm. I thought I had that up. Sorry. Alrighty. Okay. Now that we're sharing again. So the nice thing about South Dakota Public Libraries is they all tend to have about the same webpage. So you can also do this if at your home library, your home area. So if you go into ebooks and you click on South Dakota Titles to Go is through Overdrive. So this is a really nice service that is available to anyone with a library card. You can search for different collections, different subjects. So let's see, clicking in here to collections. I can do kids, teens, I'll do kids. You can also search for specific titles. So we have both ebooks and audiobooks available. You can download them really easily to your iPad, so that's really nice. Picture books show up actually pretty well on a Kindle version. And then even things like graphic novels. So when you click into a graphic novel, you can actually bring up the full square. I'm trying to think of what that phrase is. And it really highlights it. So this is a great resource to be able to use. Also really nice to be able to use when you guys are off campus in the next week or so. Another thing I wanted to highlight is the South Dakota State Library. So it is library.sd.gov, or if you just Google search South Dakota State Library. The Children and Youth Services page is a really great resource. So it does obviously give our book awards. So this would be the Prairie Pask, Bud, and Bloom Awards. We can also have just quick links through school library is probably what you guys will be in most. So these are the services that are designed for the K-12 school libraries, which would be what you guys would be using when you are out in the field with your librarians. So lots of different resources available that have been compiled and put together by the librarians in the state library. So those are kind of two other resources for you guys. Questions on those? Nothing? Okay. So I will flip.
So those of you who commute or just appreciate Audible books, that would be a really good resource to get Audible books and read in that way.
Yeah, and they have a lot of selections, which is really great. Once you get your library card, you just sign in by selecting whichever library you got your card under, and then you put in your, I think it's just your library card and maybe like,
Get into the state library.
so that's how you get into the Overdrive from like the public libraries. The state libraries, completely free resources across the board. Basically, if you are accessing it from a computer in the state of South Dakota, you are good to go. So we will just go back over here just to finish up. So wanted to give you guys my contact information one more time. So always can connect with me with the library. So again, my name is Alexis Becker. I am your friendly librarian. My office is McGovern 113, and there is my email address. You can also follow us on social media. So we do have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. So different information is put on there. So every week I do a book of the week, kind of highlighting a title in our collection. This past couple of weeks have been a lot of children's books because of National Picture Book Month. We also do a Fact or Fiction Friday, kind of looking at information literacy facts that you thought were true that aren't true, or things that you're like, that can't be true that are true. And other resources are shared on both of those as well. So thank you for having me in. And I guess any last questions before I go? No? All righty.
When you guys get into teaching in your schools, if you have an active library, a librarian is one of your best friends. She'll be able to find all kinds of resources and stuff for you. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. So any questions as far as that Newberry assignment? Maybe we should pull that up real quick and take a look at that, since that's due a week from Friday. How many of you have started on that? Oh, good. I only had semi-panic there. So, all right. Let's pull that up in Canvas and take a look. Thanks, Alexis.
Yep, have a good day, guys. We'll see ya.
Okay, I'm not able to see anything on my screen but a white screen. That's interesting. All right, I'll have to have you guys pull that up, I guess. So take a look through the, just the main information for that Newberry and let me know what questions you have. Under the Newberry, you're going to get into some chapter books, so I wouldn't wait too much longer to get started on that. However, you could also go to a couple of those resources that Alexis was talking about and get Audible books or something like that, especially if you're traveling a lot. That would be a nice way to pick up on that. So we had kind of a different transition. We had not hired Alexis yet when this semester started. So do you feel like that was good to have her come in and kind of take what I taught you to another level? Was that helpful to have her come in? Awesome. Okay. So I know we kind of just did a drive-by of the database. So, any questions about the Newberry? 3 class periods left together, you guys. Yikes. This next week, right? All right. That is all I have for you today. So let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, we will see you on Monday. Yes. We're going to have to abbreviate a little bit. Text that, and you can use that answer if you want to, or you can add it to something else. Okay, so it's all right to.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yep. Now, let's figure out why I can't get into my computer right now. Oh, never mind. Now it works. I don't know what that was about. I know. especially when it works. Thanks, Lexis, for joining us today.